Yo, what's going on, Serpa Squad? We're back at it again, and we're going to finish everything up in this one. I've got the eco bulb right here next to me, made it here safely along with the fish and a bunch of other stuff, so I'm going to get this set up and we'll get everything else moved in. Setup was simple enough. I filled it up, added the salvinia and the fish. So I'm back here in the animal room, and on today's agenda, we got to move the reptile rack, the 40-gallon rack, and the Suriname toad rack. So quite a few things. It should be 3 or 4 trips depending on if I'm able to move these gecko racks on my own. I'm going to get them out of there and then we'll see if I'm able to move them. I'll have to pull the geckos from their tanks before I can do anything. I drilled a few holes in the lids of these containers for ventilation and added paper towels so they don't feel as exposed. Getting the crested geckos is always easy because they're very used to me. Plus, Delilah here was on the glass, so that made it even easier. Henry, on the other hand, I swear enjoys human interaction, so he came right out. However, the issue here is that I had to work quickly, and as you could see, he wanted to linger. I got Henry and Delilah with ease because they're very habituated by this point, but this is the one that I'm unsure about. We'll see how it goes. Wow. I can't even believe that I was able to get her that easily. Trust me, she's basically just a wild animal that lives in there. From there, I went on to address the 40-gallon rack. I already moved the pufferfish to a quarantine tank the previous day, so I only had to address the other tanks. I got the fire-bellied toads to start. I've been trying to catch the Ameca splendens for about 25 minutes now, and although I got 3 of them, the other ones are just not coming out anymore, so unfortunately I think I gotta take apart this scape. I was trying not to because I really like how it turned out, but there's really no way around it. After all of that, we hauled everything to the new house and got to work. It was raining, so we had to work quickly and didn't film much of that. Okay, so we got the 40s moved in. It was probably the hardest thing we've done so far, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
He was saying something about the Ameca Splendens tank, though.
Yeah, I need to rescape on aisle 5.
Alright, so we're putting him to work here. We'll see what he can cook up. So about a half hour later, he finished it all up, and I think it turned out pretty cool. We'll get it filled up and add the fish and see what you think. Next up was the reptile rack. We pulled that through like the other items, but it barely fit. And to be honest, we almost couldn't get it out of the animal room to begin with. We made it work though. Before I could add the animals back in though, I had to address the hardware. We're gonna get everybody back in their setups. We got Delilah here. Now, she will probably be not nearly as chill as they were, but man, look how fat that one is. They gotta be well over 12 years old at this point. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get everything that we intended to yesterday, so we're going to do the Suriname Toad tank today, which that's the one that I'm probably most concerned about out of anything we've done and will do. And we got to move Dean's, which should be pretty easy. Probably best to put him in something else and take all this out of here, because it's probably 200 pounds worth of substrate or something like that. It's a lot, so to make it easier to move, we'll put him in here. But all the isopods and everything are under this bowl as well. So I'll have Nate grab that substrate and put it in that bin up there, just so that we don't smash them all during the moving process, but easy enough. I had him separate everything as he went, so I could easily put it back together. As for the Suriname toads, I filled up a few buckets to put them and the decorations in. In here you can really get a look at how big they are now and how much they've grown since whenever I first got them. So I came across a serious issue as I was dismantling this, and it is with these bulkheads over here. Now you see they go through the side of the tank and they're stopped by this 2x4 here. Unfortunately, I welded these all together after I already put it on the stand, so we actually can't get it off the stand unless I either cut the bulkheads or cut the stand. If I cut the bulkheads, then I would have to re-weld them on there, and I don't have the pieces right now. And it's probably more important that I get the frogs back into the tank. So literally, I'm just going to go get the saw and cut along this and pull the top off. Of course, I don't have my saw with me right now, so we'll take this tank and then come back and cut this up and get it moving.
He's trying to do the thing.
Back at the new place, and I reconstructed Dean's Vivarium. It's going to need a few adjustments once I move it again, but this will suffice for now. Going bioactive with him made a huge difference, and I'm really glad I did. Here you can truly see just how alive the substrate is. After setting him free, we went back to the animal room.
Alright, let's see if we can pull it off.
First, I did a pass with the circular saw to get most of the way through. Then I used a handsaw to finish the job. I repeated that 3 more times, but we still weren't able to remove the top. So I had to make additional cuts that you can see here, which was really annoying. Stress was high, so we didn't film much of that, but once it was set up, we added the frogs and called it a day. And after all of that, I'm finally almost done. I have a few smaller things over here in the terrariums. I gotta get the 350 and the 600, which we're going to address right now. I started by removing the glass with suction cups, which on a side note have been invaluable during this move. They're not cheap, but if you work a lot with tanks, they're a great investment. Now that I got the glass removed, I'm going to take out all of the plants and put them elsewhere, except for the ones that are growing on the branches. Since they're attached onto them, there's really no point to take them off. So I went through and collected all of the plants that aren't attached to anything. Then I moved the substrate over to a dedicated bin so I could reuse it in the future. The only other thing I need to remove is the false bottom. Otherwise, from here, it should be fairly straightforward to move. And we're left with one, the 350 gallon paludarium. Now before I can do anything with this, I actually have to address something back at the other house. So I just took the time to build this little pool pond, which was a dumb idea on my part. I just ordered some stock ponds and I wasn't sure when they would be available. And they're available for me to pick up right now, so I'm going to go and get them. Okay, so this is a little bit better and what I originally wanted to do. However, at the time, I thought we were going to move in here much quicker than we did, and I wasn't able to get these, so I got the poles in the meantime. But what I'm going to do is put the goldfish in one of them, and then the fish from the 350 gallon paludarium in the other. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to end it there. As you can see, I've got this thing on its side, and I've just been spraying it down to ensure the plants stay alive for whenever I get it moved. That said, I'm not actually going to set this up at the new place. I'll just move it over and take care of it as it is, or well, not like this, not on its side. I'll turn it upright and just spray down the plants to ensure they stay alive for whenever I get it into the proper animal room. Then and there, I'm going to do something really cool with it. Since I have it taken apart right now, I figure I might as well make a few modifications, make it even better than it was before, and I'm really excited for that. However, work is not done. I got to get that 350 moved still and a few other things. And after all of that, I can finally resume everything as usual. I got a lot of really cool projects lined up that I'm so excited to share with you all. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you coming along for the ride, and that's all I got for you in this one, Serpa Squad. Take care and peace.